moments here. It's been building for a long time. I guess, a couple
Yes.
days out. How you feeling?
Great. I feel great, not just physically, not just mentally great, but I feel physically great too. It's awesome to be fighting at 55, honestly.
Oh, man, I was going to say, how much different is that on a fight week?
Yeah, like I said it a million times at this point. Like focusing on performance these last few weeks in training and not just the weight has been a weight off my shoulders. It's been awesome just to focus on myself and not just fucking a number on a scale.
Yeah. Obviously, we'd hope to see you sooner here in the PFL cage. I guess, how difficult was that, and what was the time like in between?
The time like was in between was just rehab, heavy rehab. I had an injury that was annoying. I tried to push through it, and like I said, the weight cut was just killing me. Like being at that deficit, I couldn't recover. So once the fight was off, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my ass in PT, and I just PT'd hard. So now I'm good, man. Firing all cylinders.
Nice. So you didn't have to have any surgery?
No, thank God. Yep, no surgery. Yep.
Was there any concern at all, like, dude, because then you do have a date on the calendar, right? So it's non-traditional with other organizations, right? Where if you can't make that first week, it messes up the whole year.
Exactly. That's why that was back in November. So I was like, all right, I'm not fighting until April. Let me get my ass on the PT. Take that seriously. I've been PTing it 3-4 times a week now. Anyways, I do PT when I feel good. So shout out to Edge Pro PT, Paramus, New Jersey.
Very nice. Matchmaking, obviously they bring you in. I guess you probably expected they were going to give you any easy fights, but they gave you the champ right away. I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
Thank you. That's give me him right off the bat while I'm fresh. It doesn't make sense for me to like if you had to give me a choice. I guess I would pick the toughest guy if you think about it because I'm fresh. If I get him the second, third, fourth fight, that's already you're a little banged up from the previous fight. So I'm like, right now I'm good. Why not take the hardest fight right off the bat?
Right. You mentioned that. That's the thing that I think a lot of guys that have come over have talked about is how difficult the schedule is. Have you tried to give me insight on like how to approach this? Or?
I'm just gonna kind of like wing it. I mean, like, everyone's asking how the training camp's going. This is just a regular training camp because this is the first one. Ask me this for the next one. All right, June 23rd is my next fight. Ask me how that training camp was because it's definitely gonna have to be different from every fight after this one.
Nice. Talk about the matchup itself stylistically. I guess. I mean, what do you think about the?
It's a fun fight. He's definitely improved a lot. I mean, the dude won. He won the entire season. You got to give anybody that goes through the season, let alone wins the season, but goes through it and then wins it. He's got that. He's got something in him that's different. So yeah.
Nice. Last thing for me. I mean, obviously the goal here is to win these 4 fights, but I don't know when you come in, it feels like you're comfortable. You seem in good spirits, but I just wonder if there's like a not necessarily pressure, but they banked on you.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're the high-profile free agent.
Yes.
You came in to make waves. I mean, do you feel like I gotta go in there and show them something?
Absolutely, but I put that pressure on myself anyways. I feel like that. Regardless of anyone else's added pressure, I got the pressure, the weight of the world on my shoulders to provide for my family. So like, yeah, I'm going out there from the first belt to the last belt. I'm looking to starch this guy. I'm going to take him out.
Hey Shane, obviously, we're going to fight at the season finale. Now 2 events have passed to the regular season. Has that anticipation kind of gone up?
Oh yeah.
See everyone else go.
Yeah. But like being last, like on the bill, I'm like, I'm chomping at the bit. It's been cool to like see how it goes a little bit before you jump in there, but I'm like, shit, I kind of wish I was the middle guy instead of like the last one, but I'm going to close the show with a bang.
And then he's talked about, hopefully playoffs in Canada. Look, we've seen this happen. Sometimes people got to run it back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they say, hey, enemy territory, this fall, would you be down for that?
Absolutely, man. I don't care where, anywhere. But I mean, they come to New York a lot, so don't be surprised if they put us in New York. And then that's not enemy territory at all. I'll pack that place out. And I think they know that, so I do expect to be fighting in New York relatively soon, honestly.
Obviously focused at 55, but do you feel like you might see yourself keeping an eye on the featherweights just in case you think about that for next year?
No. Season, I can't do a whole season at 45 just because the turnaround is too quick. 4 fights in 8 months, that's 4 weight cuts in 8 months, that's 4 camps in 8 months. That's just too much. My body would just keep breaking down, honestly.
Gotcha. Jane over here. Ultimately, you've been in a different organization, many organizations. What caught your attention about the PFL that ultimately made you want to join?
The money. to be blunt, the money. Honestly, I got a great deal like per fight, but I also like that $1 million. Like, dude, it's $1 million. You don't hear that number in MMA. You literally don't hear that number in MMA. You got like a couple guys like John Jones and then Connor and like the bigger stars, right? But you don't really hear that number in MMA, especially like outside of the UFC. So PFL, you win $1 million if you win 4 fights. It's there. It's in sight. You know what I mean? It's not like where you're like, oh, you might have to fight him. You might have to fight 5-6 times, then you get your title shot. But if it's a boring fight, it's you win 3 fights, you're fighting for $1 million.
Yeah. Say you win that, what do you do with the $1 million?
I don't know. It's a great question. Definitely going on like a month-long vacation. After that, I took my family somewhere crazy. But then I'll sit back and think about investing in something.
Obviously, you fought in Vegas before, but how does this fight week compare to the other fight weeks?
This is the best fight week I've ever had. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it's been the best fight week. I feel fucking great.
And I know all of your focus right now is on Olivier, but when you saw the list of lightweights, any other name caught your eye? Or?
Everybody keeps asking me that question. No one else. No, I saw the whole division, yeah, but I got the champ, the guy that he's defending his belt. In my opinion, I'm looking at it this is a title fight. I'm not worried about anyone else. Just like I assume they're not worried about anyone else. But if they are, that's their problem. This is the guy that's champ. This is the guy I'm fighting on Friday. I'm not thinking about anyone else. Thank you.
Right. So from what I can tell, obviously you're a Christian. What got you into the religion? Were you raised as a Christian, or did a circumstance bring you into it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I never got asked a question like that. Yeah, I didn't grow up very religious. My grandma told me some stories, like some biblical stories. I remember I have really fond memories of that. But I can't really explain it how I kind of found my faith. But I got to the UFC, and the way I got to the UFC, dude, I was supposed to fight for a CFFC title. This is like one of my favorite stories. I was supposed to fight for the CFFC title. That fight fell out on a week's notice. My wife's pregnant. I'm having my first kid. I'm only making $23,000 a year at this point. She has to stop working. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. My fight falls out, and I was gonna make like $6,000 off that fight. Dude, $6,000 regionally. I'm like, let's go. Like I'm hyped up. I'm like, I'll be able to have some money in the bank because my wife can't work, so it's just all on me right now. I was like, thank you. That fight falls out. I remember just crying, just being like, what am I gonna do? I needed that money. What happens after that? UFC has a card in Albany, New York, it just gets legalized in New York. It literally just happens that year. And then somebody in my weight class gets pulled out. So they need a 45er. I live an hour and a half away from Albany. I'm like, dude, no way. I get on Twitter, start Twitter fingers, start calling the guy out, just like, get me this fight, doing interviews, trying to get the fight. And I get the fight. On 2.5 weeks' notice, I make the weight. I remember just not having any nerves. I wasn't nervous at all. So I remember looking out the arena, like it was massive, and I was like, I'm supposed to be here. This is everything's happening for a reason. This is like weird how this is lining up because I'm dead broke, and I'm about to change my life with this. This is insane to me. So I was like, this is supposed to happen, and I know God put me in that position, and I had a full training camp. So it was 2 weeks notice, but I had that full training camp. My weight was good enough. I was like, in no other circumstance could this have worked out. Divine intervention. I wholeheartedly believe in that. So yeah, thank God for this. Yep.
Yesterday I saw you were hanging out poolside listening to some Christian music. Is that also going to be your walkout music, sort of a Christian theme?
No, I had to actually get like Socios, the app. I gave them 4 options for songs, and then the fans got to pick one. So I'm actually you'll see what I'm walking out to. I don't know if I want to say it yet. It's a good song. It's a good song.
Cool.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Good question.